Hello, friends. How are you today? We are talking a little bit differently today. I am not trying to sell you any products today. I just want to talk about something that's been on my mind the last couple of days. And that is, why do audiophiles chase after more and better equipment? What is the purpose behind chasing after different types of equipment? So that's why I want to talk today. And I think it, at its root source, people are chasing after the perfect sound. And the perfect sound is different for everybody. But why would they be chasing after the perfect sound? Why is it so important? And why would somebody spend thousands of dollars on equipment to get it? And the reason is that sound is a fundamental part of being a human being. It affects us in a very visceral and powerful way. And it may be chasing after an emotion. It may be chasing after a certain time period in your life. It may be chasing after just a feeling. And the perfect sound can have, like I said, is such a dramatic impact on a person that they're willing to spend the money to capture it. And it may be because they enjoy a certain artist. It may be because they enjoy a certain level of performance in their movies or TV shows for home theater systems. And it's because it impacts people on a deep and personal level. I think that's truly what the basis of being an audiophile is all about, being impacted by sound on a deep and personal level. And people are willing to go after that. Now, in order to get a perfect sound, you have to eliminate the types of distortion, noise, interference, clipping that you get from the nature of the equipment itself. And that is a very difficult, time consuming, and expensive process. And the reason for that is that every piece of equipment impacts the sound signal in some way. And if you're chasing after the artist's original recording, then it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult to duplicate that with your equipment if it's not dialed in correctly, or if you don't have the correct accessories or whatever, because you're going to get those things like distortion and interference that changes the music in some way. A lot of people prefer records because they're lossless. You don't lose signal; it's an analog signal. You know there's no loss of signal from the platform itself. So digital music loses something from an original recording because it has to be processed. So people like vinyl because it sounds more like the original recording. It sounds more like what the artist's intent was. And I think that's what people are chasing after. They're chasing after an artist's intent, the what the artist was thinking and hearing themselves, and that's what they want to experience. They might also be chasing after like a live experience, so a live show, and trying to get that live show experience is different if the music's been reprocessed or if it's been distorted by the equipment that you're using. So chasing after a perfect signal is a very important aspect of it. But again, on a fundamental level, sound is instrumental. Pardon the pun, but sound is instrumental to humanity as a whole. It really is. Music has been a part of humanity since its inception, since the beginning of humanity. So music is a fundamental, necessary part of life that everybody experiences differently. But I don't think anybody hates all music. I've never met a person in my life that hates everything that's out there. Everybody might like Taylor Swift, but that's because the music's really catchy. But there's a lot of other genres out there. I mean, if people weren't different, everybody would listen to the same thing. There wouldn't be rock and roll and R&B and jazz or hip hop or classic and country and instrumental and orchestral and all these different types of music. But they can be enjoyed by everybody on some level. And there's nothing better than that feeling of the tingling sensation that you get in your neck when somebody hits a note, or the emotion in a song comes out and it just hits you differently. So I think it's easy to see in that regard why people chase after perfect sound. But it's something we don't talk about in this industry a lot. It's something that's visceral and personal and important, but we don't really ever talk about it because it's a kind of an understood thing. People are chasing after a perfect sound, and we're trying to help you get there. I don't know why people don't talk about it more though, because it is such a pivotal and important part of the process. But there's also audiophiles that may be more interested in the equipment than the sound, the electrical engineering that goes into these things. Like we talked about in previous videos, we've talked about vacuum tubes, we've talked about amplifiers, we've talked about speaker cables and RCA versus XLR, and how sound differences can happen from all of these different things and how they're combined. So that's another aspect of it. Audiophiles are chasing after the equipment, and I think then there's a much smaller contingent of clients that are just interested in keeping up with the Joneses. They want to experience music that their friends have, or they saw somebody else had a setup and they want the exact same thing, or they want something better or more expensive or whatever it is. That does happen on occasion, but it's not very frequent. And I think the justification in a lot of people's minds for spending this is because music is so instrumental and fundamental in our lives, that it's an easy win. If you have something that you enjoy, that you know you're going to enjoy, and that you're going to be able to enjoy for the next 10 years, then you're going to get your money's worth because of the emotional impact that it has on you. And this goes far and beyond just music. I mean, this is the same for in-home theater systems that are chasing after the best sound for a movie or TV show or whatever it is. I mean, there's a reason that they give awards for sound editing in the Golden Globes or Oscars or whatever, because that is also a very important aspect of producing a movie or TV show. Having the right sound editing can make the difference between a good and bad movie. If something's dubbed poorly, or if something, you notice it, and it breaks the illusion of that you're being immersed in. And it's the same with music. So this goes beyond just music. I think it's more of sound in general, and I think it's an important thing to discuss and understand and appreciate for audiophiles and music lovers, and anybody who is trying to improve they're trying to improve their system so they can get more enjoyment out of it. And music has been proven to help with depression. It helps with mood. It helps to improve your health. I mean, there's so many benefits to music that it's easy to see why people chase after this. And that was something that I had a hard time wrapping my head around, because I wasn't an audiophile when I started in this industry, and I didn't appreciate why people would be willing to spend. And it's something that I've learned over time and started to understand and appreciate, because I've listened to stuff that is just beyond anything that I was really aware was possible. Um, and it does give you a different sort of enjoyment of the music or the movie or whatever you're watching or listening to. It really does. It changes how you can enjoy something. So, anyways, I just wanted to touch base on that and let you guys know one of the things that we think about here at Sound Approach, and that is making sure that you are getting what you need and want based on your subjective needs. Everybody is different. Everybody needs something differently. So that's something that we like to understand about our clients, especially when somebody calls in to explain their system or their project, whatever it is that they're working on, what their needs are, why they more than just what their needs are. We want to know why they're your needs. What are you chasing after? What is so important about this particular system or project? And why are you chasing after it? I think that's an important thing to understand for consumers. So anyways, I think that's it for today. So if you're interested in our website, check out soundapproach.com. I told you I'm not trying to sell stuff, but I got to plug the website. So I hope you all take care, and we'll see you at the next video.